We've seen some gruesome stuff within the community, but what effect does it have to the people that still play Genshin in 2025? Now, I might seem biased as a Genshin YouTuber, but we do have an awesome lineup of people here today that have decided to come together to talk one-on-one with each other, and to answer the question, do all Genshin players think the same?
Hi, I'm Eric.
My name is Ivy.
Hi, my name's Blue.
And hi, I'm Churn. I'll pop in to answer a couple questions because it's my channel and I want to play too. I found controversial questions to ask these Genshin players, and if you're unfamiliar with how this game works, it is a lot like the series posted by the channel Jubilee, where everyone is asked a question and they walk to their desired line on the spectrum. Of these Genshin players, how much will we agree and disagree on? Stay tuned to find out. The worst part of Genshin is the fan base. 3, 2, 1.
So Genshin, like the fan base being the worst part, I'm putting like just a little bit disagreeing, just because I have a lot of problems with the way Hoyoverse handles the game, and I think saying that the fan base is the worst part is like kind of an exaggeration. Like I won't completely disagree that it has its problems. Like I've like seen enough discourse on Twitter to know it's not a perfect fandom, but I like 100% like just won't agree that it's the worst part. I found almost all my online friends through Genshin, and I think it does have its positive parts, and I think there is like valid critique towards Hoyoverse.
I basically agree with Blue, but the thing is with the fandom, the things you see online with people like being angry about the game, there is good side of the fan base and the bad side of the fan base, and that's with every single game and every single artist or everything that you see. So I don't think that the fan base is that bad. Just like Blue said, the way Hoyoverse handles the game, like
I'm more probably towards the center, honestly. I think with the fandom, a lot, not everyone, but a lot of people cling to their content creator in the game that plays the game, that made them want the game, and then that content creator, if they become a toxic person, it kind of influences them, and then they overall will make the game a worse place to be. I think TikTok and stuff also has kind of ruined the fandom aspects when it comes to that kind of stuff. It's a lot better now, I feel like, but it used to be a lot worse.
Spiral Abyss is for whales only. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, wrong side.
With the newer Abyss stuff, in order to do the best, you have to have this character, that character. It's not my favorite. I don't like doing Abyss to begin with. I always do it at like the last second. To get the most out of your Abyss runs, you need the like past, what, 2 times? It's been like Skirk and Mav. And if you don't have those, you're kind of, not always, but a lot of the times. And that's why I'm on the slightly.
I hardly disagree, because I can take myself for example. I am a low spender, so I spend like $5 a month. Like I literally only buy Welkin, and maybe I buy Battle Pass like once in 6 months. I have a lot of Natline characters, but in the last 12 months, I could even clear with my Ayato, with Farina and Shalonen. You can still do Abyss even with the older characters. I don't know if you have been seeing the clears with 4 stars. You can do Hyperbloom, like you could have been doing Hyperbloom like every single Abyss. But yes, I absolutely do agree that they are trying to shield the character, but is it whale-only territory? No. I think Stygian is a whale-only territory. The dire difficulty for the skins and whatnot.
I'm gonna be really honest, I almost completely agree with Ivy. That was almost my exact answer. But I do want to offer my perspective as someone who is a whale. Well, not just whale. I feel like I would say former whale. I spend not even like Welkin every month anymore. But like 2 years ago, I was definitely like big whale territory. And I think back then when there was just like not a lot of characters who had that big power creep. But like right now, people have been experimenting a lot with their teams and then finding new ways to get around the boundaries that are being put up by Abyss. Just because I do agree that it is catered towards new characters, and all these new characters are like outshining past characters like by a significant amount. It's very hard to ignore. Even with like my few whale characters, I'd still prefer some low spending free-to-play teams. Like one of my main teams for Abyss for like the longest time was just Kazuha, Xingqiu, Bennett, Xiangling, this classic, almost like a 1.0 team if you're not including Kazuha. And again, Abyss, I wouldn't classify it as whale catered, but I 100% agree that Stygian could be what you would consider whale catered.
Genshin Impact is full of fan service. 3, 2, 1.
I actually think I'm neutral, but I also think yes, because I'm the fan being served. I don't mind being served as a fan. Like a lot of the newer characters are like what I like. I like Varessa, but I didn't pull for her, sadly. And what I think that Genshin is doing is not even close to what other gacha games are doing. Like, for example, Zenless Zone Zero with their jiggle physics. And like, I don't know if you've seen the newest character. She's called Seed, and she's a kid in a suit that
God.
shows like feet, and she shoots from her feet. She's like in a mecha, and it's like in first person mode. The gameplay is good. Like, I like the first person mode, but do I like feet on? It's okay. It's okay. She is for the people that like feet. So I think we're good. Like, I think we're good. Like, if I look at the previous, like, 15 characters that came out, but is it fan service? I wouldn't say so. I've played all other games that have bigger fan service, so I don't think Genshin has this problem. I think other games do.
I was gonna bring up woo 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 woo. Shut up. Woo Watsu is that that game. I love that game, and I love most of the characters, but that game is it's 10 times worse than this game when it comes to
Cantarella, by the way.
Yeah, I love her. She's my main in that game, but still, this game doesn't compare to most of the other games. Honestly, all the other Hoyo games are probably worse than this game. Also, at this point, fan service doesn't bother me as much unless it's like children-based stuff, and I'm like, yeah, let's not. I don't with that stuff, so which is a good thing.
Yes.
Maybe some people do.
Oh God.
I mean, no judge. We do not judge.
Judge a little bit.
I mean, I feel like we're all having about the same opinion, but I think one of the biggest issues with the fan service in Genshin, though, I feel that, again, compared to other games, I do hate comparing it to other games. It's really not that bad. And I was also going to bring up Seed, because I remember when I saw the feet on my timeline, I was like, this is not real. But I think a big issue is just that a lot of the fan base conflates the idea of a woman showing skin to being fan service, when sometimes it's not always like that. I'm not going to say that it's not the reason why the character designers are like showing more skin, but I think people need to stop thinking more skin equals fan service, because I think there's also examples of fan service in ways that aren't nature. I think one of the biggest examples for me, and it like breaks my heart because I love Citlali, but I don't enjoy the way they turned her character into someone who is pining for the love of Traveler. I think it was during an interlude quest, she had like gotten jealous that we spoke to another woman, and I was like, this is not the Citlali I know. And I think that like personality change for her is also a form of fan service that people should consider. Also, fan service I completely disagree with is anything doing with the children. I think Genshin has that issue where a lot of the children, that stereotype where it's, well, technically they're an adult, well, technically, and I feel that could also fall under the fan service.
I honestly want to insert my own opinion here. There's a lot that I definitely agree with.
Please do.
Okay, well, the thing that I noticed the most with the children characters is they're the ones that have the most movement in their idols. I swear to God, all of the children have stretching animations. The only adult that technically does is Yoimiya, but she, like, moves her shoulder, while the other ones are literally moving their bodies all around. There's really no need for that. Some of them don't even involve their lore at all. There's no point to it. And the amount of children characters that have like way too small of outfits, some of them show more skin than the adults, which I think is extremely weird. And I'm actually learning a lot because I didn't even know about this character from Zenless Zone Zero, so I'm gonna have to search them up after. I didn't even know about this whole feet thing.
I hope you don't. I hope you don't.
Oh God. But I would have to agree that Genshin is definitely better compared to the other games. I just think they're more subtle with it, and once you do see it, it honestly becomes even more disgusting because it's been in front of you the whole time. No playable character is bad. You just have a skill issue. 3, 2, 1.
So by now, in 5.8, we have 100 playable characters. And I think that if you look at all of the characters from day one to yesterday, every character has its own purpose, but I think that a lot of these characters have things that need to be fixed. They cannot do the damage. For example, Eula. Eula was like one of the best characters in Mondstadt from 1.0 to like 2.2, I think. And then when the HP inflation started going up, she cannot keep up with the newer characters. If you have characters that you love, that you cannot play them, it's not really a skill issue, it's that the characters are really not good. Also take Diluc, for example. Diluc is like a really good claimer DPS, but only in one playstyle. You have to have Shen Yun. So I think that a lot of units are really gated behind either constellations or units. But of course, you can play whatever you want to play, and you just need a little bit more investment than the other people that will need for newer characters.
Am I able to change my answer?
You want to change your answer?
I want to go where everyone else is. Like, my only thing was, like, I've seen people do crazy things with these, like, old 1.0 characters, and that's kind of my only argument. And I'm just like, I've seen it, but I do agree 1000% with what Ivy just said.
You probably like watch those 4-star clears. That's just because the supports are OP, but the DPSs are like a lot of other games also have this problem, like with the newer units that they're trying to be shielded.
And in Star Rail, it's 12 times worse. But that's besides.
Oh yeah.
My answer.
Oh God.
I think this whole idea of if a character is good also hinges on if you're defining that as if they have a purpose or if they can't do damage, because I think people will have different definitions on that. If the question was, can every character do good damage? No. But I think a lot of characters do have purpose, but even then, I think a lot of them don't serve their purpose very well. I'm gonna be so honest, like, I'm a Cyno main. I can acknowledge the fact that he's not very good. Like, he came out chopped from the beginning. The idea that a character can be good if you put effort into them is true, but I think a lot of them are limited by their kit. Sometimes the effort put into a character is not worth the outcome.
Honkai Star Rail's fan base is more toxic than Genshin's. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, sorry. When the whole Casteress thing happened is when I really saw it with the whole passive thing where if you just have her, she can revive anyone. And that's when I was like, okay, this game is a toxic. I would say the amount of shit I see online, it's like 70% of it's bad, 30% of it's good. There's so much power creeping, there's so much everything where you have to get the new character to be good. And then when the new character comes out, Kafka's gonna get a giant buff, which I'm very excited about because she's the reason I want to play this game.
It's very pay to win. Even when Casteress came out, I saw how the fandom is toxic. To be honest, Honkai is a bigger problem than Genshin is. They cannot seem to fix their game because the biggest issue about their game is the blatant power creep of the characters, and the fact that we didn't get a single 4-star since like 2.8, if I remember correctly. When Mosaic came out, they don't have any 4-stars, which literally tells you to pull for 5 stars, which is not the case here in Genshin. But about the fandoms, I think it's very similar. I spend a lot of time on TikTok. Like, listen, I play a lot of other games. I don't just play gachas, and I know how fandoms are. When a new character comes out, there is always going to be like 500,000 TikToks. Oh, this character is bad. Oh, this character is this. Oh, this character is that. That's like all of the fandoms that we have. But Honkai fandom is like way angrier at the game that we in Genshin.
Well, I have no idea about anything about Honkai. I don't really mind if people take my opinion with a grain of salt. The only reason I politely agree is just because of the stuff I see on Twitter, and I hate bringing Twitter into it because I feel like anything on Twitter, you're not really going to see a lot of positivity. I'm sure that if there was somebody who was in my position, somebody who like really only focused on Honkai and then saw Genshin from the outside, they'd also agree, like same way I'm agreeing about Honkai being a little bit worse.
I almost want to even add my own again for this one.
You should. I want to hear it.
Sweet. It's gonna be very short and sweet, but I don't know if it's still a thing anymore. And again, it always goes back to Twitter, even though it's like, is that really a great source? I feel like for such a long time, people who played Honkai Star Rail thought that they were like superior to those who played Genshin Impact and would always think that they were better. But in my opinion, I really felt that it was like those memes you see where it's like, bro thinks he's free, because it's still kind of the same thing. Like, it's not, you're not way like, better because you play. There's
a lot of people that think because they're playing Honkai, they're getting more rewards and that their game is better because you get like the free 10 pull, like every new patch when a character comes out. But they're basically paying the price for that. You get 10 free pulls, but you have 2 new characters that if you don't pull like either of them, your count is gonna be like in the I don't want to curse. I don't want to. I don't think that's the thing in Genshin. Like, you can clear with free units.
There's such a difference between the two games. Even though we are getting more pulls in Honkai games, it's because those games are more combat centric. Genshin is more adventure story related. It just makes sense that there would be more stuff there because we get so much more, I think, for free in Genshin. More than just pulls. There are 2 little female characters. 3, 2, 1.
Too little? Wait, do you mean like the amount or size?
Yeah, like there are. So, do you think that there aren't enough female characters in this game?
I feel like in general this question has an outcome that most people can predict, which is disagree. Just because I mean, what was it up until like we got Flynn's? I'm talking about 5 stars in this case, but Kinich was like the last 5-star, and then we had what Aoife and Auroron. Oh, Dahlia too. So I keep on forgetting about Dahlia. But like it definitely, if you I like recently saw on Twitter, every time I bring up Twitter I feel like I'm talking about like prison. But I saw like a graphic of just like the different character models laid out, and I think what I saw was there was almost an equal amount of tall male models as there is the little girl models, and I think like just looking at that on its own is flabbergasting to me.
I didn't know
but then you
that.
like compare it to, I think there's like 3 more tall male models released currently. I can't say that for like Flynn's and Varka. If you look at the medium girl models, I think there's almost double that compared to like the tall male boys. And again, tall male boys, I shouldn't say tall male boys, that's like repeating myself, sorry. Tall male model, I think it's just like very lacking in general. And I won't like lie and say that, oh, I'm attracted to men, I want another male model. I'm also like attracted to women, and I appreciate the female models.
I don't know if you ever heard Ariana Grande's song where she says, I like women and men. I do too.
I think a lot of the reasons that we get the female models is just because the fan base is catered toward that. I think if you look at the demographics, a lot of the Genshin players are male, straight male specifically, and then it just becomes like an issue of just, are female characters being put out for the game's creativity's sake or for monetary sake?
I like women and men in this game, but if you look at the standpoint of a company that wants to make money, yeah, obviously, women are gonna sell. Maybe that isn't what everyone agrees with me, and that's okay. Only if they put like Capitano, I think he would outsell like Mavuika and every female character combined. But I think that women sell, and that's what Hoyo is trying to do, because obviously they're a free-to-play game. By statistics, if you look at what character was pulled like the most in this game, it was like Raiden Shogun on her first debut, and then Hu Tao and Yelan, and yeah, I just don't care if it's a woman or it's a man. If I like the character, if I like the design, I'm gonna pull.
I got one thing to say. I'm gay. I'm done. We need more tall muscle daddies.
Can I just say one more thing?
Oh yeah.
One more
Sure,
thing.
sure.
Sorry. So I think it is like just a shame, and but it is part of the fact of playing a gacha game, is that you have to kind of view women as a commodity, and it's like so sad to say out loud.
Yeah.
But it's like such a reality for gacha games.
Yeah, because Blue, you and I are both women, and
Yes.
you wouldn't be okay with someone objectifying you, right? Even myself,
Correct.
I wouldn't be okay. But that's how this industry works. Women are even used as objects and whatever just to make money. It started being like a regular thing, like normalized, which it shouldn't be. It should never be normalized. I stopped giving AF for it because it's if I start being nervous about it and anxious, I'm like losing my time. You should just accept it. Like that's how the industry works.
And I think it's fine to accept it and also want change.
Yes.
Like I wouldn't say that just because you accept it, you have to like be fully just like, yeah, women are a commodity, whatever. I think it's fine to like acknowledge it and play the game while also hoping that it would change in the future.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Like, I do accept that this is the reality, but I'm not gonna be doing anything good if I just go at Hoyo's headquarters and cry because there's no male characters, and to stop objectifying women and like getting money on the base of selling characters that are women. It's not good what's happening, but this has been happening for decades and even centuries.
Genshin Impact is a good game. 3, 2, 1.
At this point, you kind of have to realize that every game has its flaws, but if the overall game you're having fun with and you're enjoying it, then it's a good game to me. It's fun, and I enjoy having this game I can come back to every like month if I might need a break, or every week, or every day, and it's still fun.
This game has a lot of aspects. I think that it's important for a person who is playing this game or any other game. It's important to find the thing that is keeping you to play the game. If it's combat, if it's exploration. Every game has its bad things, as Nick said. Also, when he mentioned that it's a game that you can come back to, I 100% agree, because I can stop playing today and I can come back in a month and I wouldn't be missing out on anything.
There was like points in my life where I didn't play Genshin for like a couple months, and I came back and I was like easily able to bounce back. There wasn't like too much except for like maybe exploration.
Yeah, I play Genshin freely. I don't think that it's even a chore. Even when I don't have anything to do, I just log in for like 5 to 10 minutes. I do my resin or I co-op with my boyfriend or my friends, and it's the way way I define fun in Genshin.
Genshin wouldn't be as popular as it is if it wasn't a good game. Though I think Genshin is a good game. The reason I'm on agree and not hard agree is just because I think it's a good game. I don't think it's a great game. I wouldn't define it as breathtaking for me. Well, breathtaking in the way that it is art-wise, I would say yes. But I wouldn't say it's something that I think like this is a pivotal moment in my life where I started playing Genshin. Because I think there are other games where I could like definitely say that. Like I think one example would be like Breath of the Wild. I think whenever I first played that game, I was obsessed with it. And I think like I see myself playing this in the future for like a long time. I've been playing since like 1.6 and I don't see myself dropping the game anytime soon unless Hoyoverse like majorly messes up.
All very sweet answers. I also want to know like what would make you guys switch to strongly agree.
Not Hoyo shilling characters, not making them like you have to pull in order to play the game. I don't mind pulling if I like the character. I like this Coffeer. Same with Shilonen. When she first was shown in the trailer, I said I was gonna pull this cat girl, and then she became OP, and everyone called me a meta slave, and I was like, I just like that she's a cat girl on skates. Like, first thing is not Hoyo shilling. Second of all, I would say this not because of myself, but because of other people, to add a skip button, not to the main quest, but for the other world quest. Number 3 would basically be more endgame content that isn't Stygian. I know Nyx has been playing Honkai. I would like something like weekly simulated universe, but I think that would be also good endgame mode. Not too serious, not too hard, like just to have fun. Even more events would be good. All of the events are like in the first half, and the second half it's so dry. We have like this one big event at the start of the patch. It's like one big event and the rest of the events are like, it's so dry you don't even have an incentive to log in.
Oh my god, I had my recording pause at some point, so I don't know when I cut it off. With Blue, it was having more not so combat centric stuff.
Besides like win trace, fun things just to have that are non-combat based. The other point I had was just like a better relationship with the developers of Hoyoverse.
Just to address issues and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then with Eric,
just make the more non-combat stuff more like fleshed out and more just you actually want to play it rather than trying to just do it all in one day.
Oh my god, 100%. And I want to agree with that too. The one thing that I wish that they would add back was the time, I don't even know if you guys were able to or were around for this event, but it was when we got to create your own domain. I wish that was permanent. People could just do that all the time, and there's no prize. It could just be something that exists. Because we have the teapot. I just wish there was... I don't know. It was 2 or 3 years ago now, and...
Because I started 1.4.
Okay, so it definitely would have been around, but I literally think it only existed for like 2 weeks or less. It was so little.
Do you know what event I want them to come back?
What?
Do you know the delivery event that everyone was mad about?
The one where you had to deliver food and not like plunge.
Yeah,
oh my God.
yeah. I wish they would like bring that back because I never like began to experience it, but it looks so fun. And people are like very mad. So when people are mad about something, I really want to see what's up. Like, why are people mad? And I watched a ton of videos of people doing it and being mad and like having to retry 5, 10, 20 times. And I would like to do that. Like, I want to have something to like retry a lot of times, bring it back from the woodwork, because, well, it's like nostalgia. People would be mad, but it would be a lot of nostalgia.
I think honestly a lot of the anger probably came from it being still a new game. Like, I didn't even think about plunge attacking in one of them, which was one of the like things I was stuck on. I think it could be fun if it was brought back, and a billion other events that they've had over the years. Who wants to go first to talk about themselves?
Wait, no, do it in here, because there's like a bench and you can sit on the bench.
Oh, is there a bench? Oh, let's do that. That's actually such a great idea.
Yeah, to where are you wandering?
You are so right. There you go. There you go. Actually, you know what we need? We need this to be nighttime.
Ew.
Ooh. Who wants to talk about themselves first?
Okay, I'll do it.
Okay, great.
What is that silence? Awkward silence.